Today's episode of Pauline's Kitchen, we'll be using 3 meats to make the perfect ground beef for the perfect burger. Our first meat of choice, we'll be using the flat portion of a beef brisket, cutting into 1-inch cubes. Our second meat will come from a rack of pork. I'll be making individual steaks with this rack, but the 2 end caps we'll be using to mix in with our gourmet ground beef. At the end of this video, I'll show you how I cut this rack into individual steaks. Our final meat of choice will be a beef chuck pot roast, making sure we cut the meat into 1-inch sections, bagging and freezing for 30 minutes. You'll also want to freeze your tooling for your meat grinding to reduce the heat buildup during the mixing process. During this grinding process, we'll be making 2 passes. On the first pass, we allow the grinder to do its job after adding each cuts of meat. Between the first grind and the second grind, we hand mix the ground beef to integrate all the meats together, and then we perform a second pass, which you see here. Now you can customize your own ground beef to your own preference. For example, you could add jalapeno and cheese. Because we produce 9 pounds of ground beef, I'm gonna vacuum seal and freeze. Here's a good tip and trick for you guys. To conserve space in your freezer, you'll want to roll out your ground beef inside the vacuum seal bag, making flat sheets, which will give you more room in your freezers. This will also reduce the time it would take to thaw it out. Once you're complete flattening your sheets, you could place them in your freezer horizontally for about an hour until they freeze. Then you can place them vertically for space saving. Thank you for tuning in with Pauline's Kitchen on how to make your own ground beef. Stay tuned for the next video on how to prepare a gourmet hamburger. Told you guys earlier I would show you how I cut the individual chops. With your rack of pork facing down, bone side up, you want to remove the end cap. This is what we use in our ground beef. Simply with a sharp knife, you just cut in between each bone. These turn out to be great on the grill. A tomahawk pork chop. Yeah, just bag them up, freeze them, thaw them out whenever you're ready. Once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Pauline's Kitchen. Thanks for watching. And please comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.